So I just saw on Twitter that NBC News tweeted a story saying Kim Kardashian West and Mark Ruffalo and a number of other celebrities are going dark on their social media accounts. Forgive me, the kid is playing with the dogs right now. They're going dark on their social media accounts, their Instagram accounts, Facebook accounts. I think like Twitter accounts or something too. They're going dark for one day to protest the spread of hate speech and misinformation on those websites. Folks, I'm going to try my hardest not to drive my car to a bridge, get out and jump off, to end the pain and suffering from the void of not being able to see Kim Kardashian West post anything on her Instagram account or her Facebook page for one whole day. Okay, that sarcasm aside, what is this ultimately going to accomplish? Like, please do not try to ride the dog like he's a horse. Okay? Please. Fatherhood. Anyway, the whole thing of like going dark for a day, like what does that ultimately do? I mean, if you're serious about the cause, then protest these sites indefinitely. Okay? Get your fans along with yourself mad at these sites for being the proprietors of misinformation and hate speech if it bothers you that bad. I mean, do you need to post on Instagram and Facebook every day to sustain life? Or do you care about making a change for the betterment of the world? Like, what's more important? Posting your pictures of what you cooked for dinner, Kim? Or changing the world for the better? Because going dark for one day, what does that do? It raises the attention of people like me saying you look kind of dumb doing this and that you don't look like you're really ultimately taking it that seriously. But that aside, you know, everyone is all for, you know, taking down hate speech, taking down misinformation on these websites. And I say to you, that's good. I agree with you. I don't want to see hate speech everywhere. I don't want to see misinformation everywhere, especially on social media websites that are basically one of the biggest niche things there are on this planet to people's daily lives. But here's the thing. Okay, we've all established we don't like it, except for the proprietors of it. What are you going to do? Let's just say Mark Zuckerberg hands you the figurative keys to Facebook and says, okay, clean this place up. You are so righteous. Get to it. Here you go, Kim. What's next? I'm waiting. What's next, Kim? What are you going to do, Kim Kardashian West? What will you do? Okay, you out there, the anti-Trump person, here's the keys. What are you going to do? Go ahead, I'm waiting. Are you just going to say anything that is pro-Trump, anything that you don't think is righteous enough in supporting Trump in a non-righteous way? Like you're going to be the ultimate judge and juror of what you think is righteous or not as far as something Donald Trump's saying or something that his supporters are supporting? What are you going to do? Because you get to a very slippery slope of basically cutting off free speech. And do you really want to go there? And how are you going to do it? Because people are nuts. If you think someone like Mark Zuckerberg wants his entire website, his app, his whatever you want to call Facebook, you got to be kidding yourselves. If you think he wants that to turn into just a complete slum crap pile of bile that is nothing but misinformation and hate speech. Like, you gotta be kidding yourselves if you think that is ultimately what he wants and that he's actively not trying to fight against. Because again, it's easy to say you want this stuff scrubbed off these websites, but how are you going to do it and what is the easiest way to do it? I don't know. People act like this whole thing is just cut and dry and that going dark because you're a celebrity for one day. I mean, this is like Black Lives Matters people say, like, you know what? We're upset with how the police are treating black people. We're going to disapprove of the police for a whole week. Okay, and that does what? Because see, I don't care if you hate the Black Lives Matter movement or not. At least they are sticking with their guns and staying stuck until either things change or they keep going forever if need be. Because that's the mentality they're at now. They're like, we are going to be a thorn in the side of the authoritarian regime that is the police force until things change, or if they don't change, we're not going to change our way. And I applaud them for that. Whether you agree with them or not, they're at least sticking to their guns and believing what they believe in. Going dark in a day? What does that do? Right. Kid. Say Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter.
See? Even he agrees with it. Anyway. The point is here is that talk is cheap. Talk is cheap. And going dark is even cheaper. Going dark for a day is cheaper. Again, if people like Kim Kardashian West and Mark Ruffalo, they want to be, seen as the headlines and articles of going dark for a day, put your money where your mouth is and leave these websites for good, or make the only things you post to these websites is change your ways, or we're not going back to the normalcy that our fans want. Well, but the fans, you're hurting the fans. Then get your fans motivated behind you. Bloody heck. Oh, no. It's a good thing I didn't say H-E-L-L there. So anyways, yeah. Okay, everyone, what are you going to do to clean up these websites? Again, I'm all for getting rid of hate speech and misinformation and all that. And like when I hear things like, Russians intercepted Facebook and hacked accounts and got so much misinformation about the Hillary Clinton campaign that it swerved the election 4 years ago. And I go like this, if you're that susceptible to misinformation on Facebook, then you got bigger problems than being susceptible to information on Facebook. You're just a dumb human being. And that's why I'm like, do I really care that the Russians infiltrated Facebook and had bot accounts and all this other stuff? I'm just like, I think the bigger problem is that there was enough Americans dumb enough to fall for this that it swayed an election, potentially. And that's the thing, it's not even clear cut that that's absolutely what caused things to go in Donald Trump's favor for the election. Bloody hell, he's out of the room. So yeah, what are you going to do ultimately? And what is this one day of going dark going to do? All right, the ball's in your court, Kim Kardashian, because Lord knows I, amongst all your other fans, look for you for guidance in life. So go ahead, Kim, lead us to the promised land, and the Hulk can be right behind you. That is all.